If you're anything like me, then Western big game hunts are the ultimate. For whatever the species, you get immersed in a kind of country and experience that's just second to none. And though do-it-yourself Western hunts are possible to put together, to me, working with professionals for all they do is a much better bet. And that means choosing the right hunting outfitter is one of the most important decisions you'll make. Last year, I selected R&K Hunting Companies for a Utah Shiras moose hunt. Shiras are the smallest of the North American species of moose. Getting a tag is extremely difficult, and R&K helped me cross that adventure off my bucket list. Additionally, R&K offers some of the best hunting for mule deer, elk, antelope, and other game as well. In Utah, Wyoming, and Montana, they lease and manage over 1 million acres of prime hunting land. So when I decided I wanted to go on another Western hunt, it was a no-brainer as to who I'd call. But this year with R&K, I'm taking a totally different approach. This time with my Excalibur crossbow and a ground blind, in the hopes of scoring on a nice bull elk. Last year I got started in crossbow hunting, and with the ever-expanding list of states allowing it within the archery season, it's something I've wanted to get into. I was amazed at how fun, easy, and accurate the Excalibur 380 was from the first time I shot it. Named after its ability to shoot up to 380 feet per second, the Excalibur is a compact recurve crossbow, which not only delivers an incredible 112 pounds of kinetic energy, but it's amazingly simple to work, very safe, and problem-free due to less moving parts. Literally in just minutes I was shooting dead on, and I soon found out just how lethal this crossbow was on wild turkeys. So last fall, I was really excited at my first attempt at big game with my new crossbow. And before I knew it, I was in a ground blind, all pumped up for the hunt to play itself out.
A couple of calves, cow and a calf, coming down this way actually. They're nice and close now. There's another bull, but he's not a big one either. That's what you call a close encounter of the first kind. That's in your face. I've just heard a good bugle down here someplace. We heard it just a few minutes ago too. And it was further away. So I got one thing to say. Please, Lord, let it be my time to have him come into this little pool to get a drink of water. He doesn't have to be King Kong. Just a good elk could be fine with me. I need some elk steaks, an elk puck roast, an elk burger, an elk tenderloin, an elk backstrap, and a shirt with my kids. Oh, I see him. And he's just fine. All he's got to do is try and come within range. Come on, you big dog. Come out and give me a shot at you. Don't walk away. We haven't had a chance to get intimate yet. Well, excuse me while I put the hair on the back of my neck back down. My face and everything else. Because there was my shooter bull. And he didn't come in close enough.
While I hunted the first few days without a guide, Rick Miner spent the evening out scouting and will try and help find a bull that we can call in tomorrow.
We've got a herd of elk moving across the hill up there. Looks like maybe about 150 head. There's a pretty nice 6-point bull, herd bull, and a couple of raghorns in there. They're not spooked, they're just, we can hear them mewing, and they're just kind of feeding across the hillside there. We've got a good idea where to go in the morning.
Now, the one thing I've yet to mention about today's elk hunt was that my wife Christine was also along. And while I was out in other directions with my crossbow, Chris and her guide were on a spot and stock bow hunt. And let's just say, whenever in the mountains hunting for elk, we both know some pretty spectacular things are always bound to happen.
The elk really haven't been in a heavy rut yet. It was some of the pre-rut activity. They've been quiet, they've sent out a few bugles so we could locate, but made it really tough to get in tight on them during the day. First real good opportunity we had was on the second morning of the hunt. We went into a place we called Fish Creek, and it's a large plateau. We catch the elk as they're coming from their feeding areas up to the bedding areas, and this area we were hunting was kind of a staging area, and we got in pretty tight on this herd of elk. And there was a really nice 6-point bull that was pushing the herd around. And we got in tight, sent out some satellite bull bugles, and he didn't like us being in that close. We got set up, Chris was in front, I backed up about 70, 80 yards, did some calling. But the section we got set up in was a little bit tighter with the trees, and the opportunity for her to take a shot wasn't there.
He turned his head and started walking away. It was just like, oh, all that hard work of getting into him and him coming towards us, and just, it was like a blink of an eye, and he was just poof, he was gone.
That close encounters was pretty awesome. This was our last morning of the hunt. Chris and Babe are gonna get ready to pack up and head home. We were able to get out for a few hours, and it was a great opportunity and a great experience that we did. And on multiple times, we were able to get in tight on different groups of elk.
We had at least 6 encounters of bulls and cows, I mean, right next to us. We just couldn't get a shot off at any of them.
We would get in close, tight on one group. They would wind us and blow out. We'd get tight on another one, and then a hot cow would just walk away, and that bull would follow her. We weren't able to pull him away. Hiking up even higher, we got into another herd of elk, and just all these close encounters throughout the morning. We can go from one bull and herd to the next bull and herd because they're screaming in all different locations. What a great way to finish off the hunt with such close encounters, having the bulls screaming. We know the rut's just beginning.
Continuing now with R&K Outfitters. After a couple of days hunting without a guide, Rick Biner joins me with the hopes of calling in that shooter bull I saw just a couple days ago.
When we heard him, we watched him that first day. That big bull came out, he came down out of that corner with the cows when they came out of bed. There was other ones that came from over here. We've heard them back up in here too, so you probably know that better than I do.
Yeah.
Well, they usually come from this corner, so what I'll do, I'll set up back here, and I'll try and draw them in front of your blind right here.
You're going to be moving around back there, so you're going to be watching it. If anything comes out, because, I mean, if you're right behind me, he's going to be looking right at me. If you get off to this, but
I know what to do.
You know exactly what to do.
All right.
Glad I'm hunting with you, man.
All right. Good luck, babe.
Thanks.
Before settling in, I like to spray the area around my blind with elk fire from Wildlife Research. It's an extremely intense elk scent that contains cow urine with some in-heat secretions to let bull elk know there's a hot cow in the area that's ready for action.
Now it's a waiting game. Just that simple.
And to completely solve the subject of scent elimination, I also religiously spray down the inside of my blind with Scent Killer Gold. It's a specialized blend of advanced odor-fighting ingredients that attacks a wide range of odors and at the same time helps prevent new odors from forming. I treat my clothes with it in advance to every hunt and supplement the use of it in the field as I go. It just makes a difference.
I like to move back away from the hunter, get 150 to 100 yards behind him, That way the elk are coming in and they're looking for me 100 yards away, and they're not paying attention to the hunter as much. When I set up to call, first thing I usually do is let out a good bugle, a good loud bugle, a locator, see if there's anything in the area that wants to challenge me or just let me know that they're there. And then I like to use a series of cow calls, multiple cow calls, a reed, squeeze calls, hand calls, different mouth calls. The more the better. If you can sound like you're a pretty good sized herd, the more likely you are to draw bulls in from around the area.
This is day 5. We've seen some incredible things. We've had a couple of days where we haven't seen or heard an elk. They are not in the rut yet. They're tougher than can be. This stuff is so thick. You gotta get them to come out. And that's why we set up a blind. We got water holes here. We got a wallow here. And I want to kill this with a crossbow. And in most cases, when you're elk hunting, you don't want to be sitting there calling yourself, because you're going to bring that. You're better off. Rick is with us. He's one of the guides here with R&K. Excellent one, I should say. All other guys are. And he's out in behind. He's moving around the wood section in behind us, 50 to 80 yards behind, calling from back there. I wonder if the elk comes in here. Oh, there's a bull. Went right through the lungs. I seen it where it hit. That is not King Kong. But the elk are not in rut. They are tougher than can be. But he should be dead. He should be dead.
Rick, I got a dead elk here.
All right. I knew he didn't go far.
I know he's a satellite bull. I knew that at the time. That's fine.
Yeah.
He came in beautifully. He's gonna eat wonderfully. I don't score him anyway. Those big bulls are not cooperating for crap.
Hey, good eating.
Oh, perfect. My first crossbow kill, perfect. See, he's trying to be a 6 back here and on that side.
Yep.
One more year.
Yeah, he's like 5.5, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, this is my second hunt with R&K, and I promise you it's not going to be my last. It's because of you.
I think I enjoyed it as much as you did, and it's been a pleasure guiding you, babe.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
My pleasure.
In conclusion today, like she said, Chris never did score on an elk, but she sure didn't get cheated in the thrill department. Whenever big game hunting, you take what you can get, and coming away without a chance to get a shot didn't leave her completely empty-handed. The many close encounters she had with elk in their own backyard made this trip full of memories she'll carry on forever. As for the R&K Hunting Company, they run the finest, most professional operation I've ever found in about 50 years. Besides the amazing number of animals and unbelievably private hunting grounds they have, Their guides work extremely hard to make sure every hunter has the experience of a lifetime.
What makes R&K different from every other hunting operation is the level of detail that we provide. Every hunter that comes through camp will, at the end of their hunt, will tell us, I cannot believe how you handled the food. I cannot believe how you handled the lodging. I cannot believe how you handled hunting. I cannot believe how you worked as a team. Your equipment. We've spared no expense to make sure that the small details and the big details that everybody else are missing out on, that we're hitting every one of those details.
Hunters can expect the absolute best of everything. Meals that'd give any chef on the Food Network a run for their money, and a 5-star quality lodge that spares no amenities. Plus, they offer hunting adventures to match anyone's physical and shooting abilities. Trust me when I say you couldn't choose a better outfit to book your own trip with. As for me, that's one more successful hunt with my Excalibur crossbow in the books. It's been a nice new chapter being able to hunt with the crossbow, and I'm thrilled that more states are creating seasons for their use. They all should. You know, crossbow hunting provides for a method to expand our hunting opportunities, retain existing hunters, and recruit new ones. And let's face it, anything in this day and age that puts more hunters in the woods is a good thing, wouldn't you agree? And all I can say is that crossbow hunting has quickly become my latest obsession, and you might want to consider jumping into the craze yourself, too. I'm Winkelman. Thanks so much for watching today, and until next time, everybody, hey, good hunting.